It's official. There is absolutely no color today. I don't know about you, but I like to have color in my photographs. I like to have beautiful light streaming down early in the morning, later in the evening, illuminating our subject. Today, we don't have that. So I'm going to suggest we do the best thing we can do with this day, and that is black and white. Yes, we're going to look for some black and white opportunities today. I'm visiting one of our local creeks, and later I'll probably visit another one. What I'm looking for is shape and texture, contrast, and maybe some interesting motion in the creeks as well. There are a lot of rocks in the creek, as you can see, and sometimes those rocks, when they're partially covered in snow or they have water moving over them, can make a good subject. So let's take a shot at making some black and white photos of this creek. So far I've been concentrating on close-ups of getting close to the water and the rocks and the snow. But as I do so, I see behind me that there's a really cool looking scene here in the creek toward the misty trees beyond that I think will look really nice in black and white. So I'm going to capture that one while I'm here as well. Wow, that composition was just black, white, and shades of gray. I don't think there was a scrap of color in it. I'll be very surprised if I have to actually convert it to black and white when I get back to the studio. But we'll see. Let's move on now to a different area. Well, as you can probably hear by the rushing water behind me, I'm back at Ellis Creek, one of my favorite places to come and take pictures. It's great because there's a lot of big rocks in the creek, and with the snow and the ice on top of them, they make some very interesting shapes. We've come here in all sorts of weather, from fall weather to spring weather to winter weather, and it always produces something of value. I'm going to try to get a little farther out on the rocks here, right out in the middle of the creek if I can possibly do it without falling in. That might make for some good comedy video if it happens. But I'd like to turn my angle a bit so that I'm not looking at anything beside the creek. That was one of the difficulties I had back at Penticton Creek a few minutes ago. There's houses along the other side of the creek, and I don't like to have houses in the background of my pictures. I like to have just the natural environment. Same thing here. There's a business on the other side of the creek, and I'm going to do my level best to make sure that I don't include it in any of the shots. That's going to do it for today. I think I've risked life and limb enough climbing up and down the banks of Ellis Creek and earlier today in Penticton Creek. It's been interesting though, capturing these black and white images on a day when there is absolutely no color to be found. Oh, and speaking of that, let's bring back some color for you. You're welcome. Thanks again. Please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to our videos and hit the notify button below so that you'll be notified every time we put up a new video. We're also happy to hear your comments and give us a like if you enjoyed this video. Thanks again. See you next time. And in the creek, there's just some water moving, which of course makes sense because it's a creek.